I recently had a conversation with a colleague who's a founder of a branding agency for more than 2 decades. And just like so many of the conversations that I've had recently with seasoned experts, she's getting really, really burnt out. Not by doing the work. She loves that part. She's getting burnt out by the marketing part. In her own words, she said, Ellie, everything that I've learned about the way that I can promote and sell my services and products is just not working anymore. It's like I have to throw it all out and start figuring out from square one and learn what works today in 2024. And then she said, to be honest, I'm just so exhausted. I don't know if I have it in me to start all over again. And then it broke my heart at the end when she said, maybe it's time to dust off that old resume and go work for someone else. Again, this is an agency owner with employees who's consistently been generating multiple 6 and even 7-figure years. So if you are feeling the pressure, whether you've been in business for quite some time and all of a sudden how you were promoting and selling just isn't working anymore, or you're very new on your journey, you were starting to find your feet, but now you're not sure what's going on. That little traction and visibility has gone away. This episode is for you. So let's pull it apart and talk about what has changed. Why is it that what was working before not working anymore? The short answer is a combination of these 3 things. Number 1, for more than 2 decades, the low barrier entry to the market has made it very easy for anyone with just a passion and $100 go toe to toe with someone who's seasoned and experienced, which is fantastic. But as a result, market has become very, very saturated. Number 2, in the online space, it's not easy to figure out who's legit and who's not. Anybody can make any type of claim. You can rent a mansion and a luxury car and use it to sell people a pipe dream of fame and success. And the more far-fetched and exaggerated the overnight results are, the more attractive and appealing what you're selling becomes, at least until now. Which brings us to point number 3, which is today in 2024, today's consumers are very cautious. With more than 2 decades of people not being able to tell the difference between who's the real deal and who's not, and so many people have fallen for one scam or another, they're being very, very careful, even if they're deciding on a $10 ebook. I can't tell you how many heartbreaking stories I've heard over the last decade. People who have lost their homes, gone into $100, $200, or $300,000 in debt, and all types of scenarios in between because they've invested in so many courses, so many programs, coaching services, masterminds, events, tools, platforms with very little or zero return on their investments. Again, which means today's consumers are very skeptic, much more informed, and extremely selective than ever before. They don't just buy products or services. They buy into honesty, transparency, and trust. Your prospects will stay in your ecosystem for a while to connect with you on a personal level. In the past, if your offer sounded good and it lined up with your prospect's desired outcome, they jump right in. You could bring a very cold audience from a social media ad into a webinar and sell a $10,000 or $20,000 or even $100,000 service or program. That does not work anymore. Bottom line, if your prospects don't believe what you say, that you're trustworthy, even the most innovating and life-changing solution backed by the most strategic marketing plans won't save your business. Now, that's where marketing your truth comes in, which is about stripping away the noise, stripping away the grandstanding, and leading with something much more simple, which happens to be the thing that your prospects are looking for, which is getting to know the real you. In its most simplistic form, it's really about being true to your values, your beliefs, your unique point of views, your voice, and making sure you're communicating all of that to your prospects in every opportunity you get and in every touch point they have with you and your brand. When you make sure your marketing reflects the true essence of who you are as a person, the people who are in total alignment with you will naturally gravitate towards you. Let's unpack that a bit more and look at it from a different angle, because I'm sure deep down, you know all of this and you've probably heard all of this. None of it is new to you, but somewhere along the line, the thread between who you are and connecting it to your marketing efforts gets lost. Let me ask you a question. What is the biggest roadblock that keeps most experts from getting their solution into the hands of those people who need it the most? I asked this same question from my Facebook community, and the top answer was, you guessed it, marketing. How many times have you thought or said to yourself, I wish I could stick to doing the things that I'm really, really passionate about, which is working with clients, and not be bothered with the things that takes up 80% of my time, things that I don't really enjoy doing. And in some cases, I really, really resent. Again, I'm talking about marketing, of course. Or have you ever thought to yourself, when people work with me, they love my approach, they get results. If I only could find a way to make sure that my prospects could see that too. Many experts know that they have a life-changing solution. They know that their solution can positively impact so many lives. But their problem, their struggle is in not knowing how to communicate the value of their solution. The biggest struggle is getting the attention of the person who needs your solution most long enough so they can hear what you have to say. And that's not enough. Once you have this person's attention, you need to know how to continue the conversation so they see the benefit of your solution and decide to take you upon your offer. So my question for you is this: why is it so hard? Why is marketing so challenging? Now, based on regular conversations with clients and prospects over the last decade and a half of coaching, my understanding is that it's because most people see and treat marketing as a foreign language. They think marketing is something that you have to go learn and then copy and practice long enough until it becomes second nature. Now, what if I told you this is sabotaging your success? It's actually the very reason that you're stuck spending 80% of your time doing things that have nothing to do with your skill set or your passion or your expertise. And this mindset and the way that you treat marketing is causing total misalignment. You are completely out of alignment with who you are, with what you stand for, the very thing that makes you you. You are out of alignment with your values, your beliefs, your voice. And this misalignment is the very reason you find marketing like an uphill battle. Because without knowing it, you're forcing yourself to become somebody else. So what happens? Well, one of these two scenarios. Either you're the type of person who once you get your marching orders, you just plow ahead, meaning you make a list of social media post content to go out once a day. You write blog posts or newsletters to go out once a week. You do weekly lives. You do monthly webinars. You launch offer after an offer. You are following orders like a good soldier, but deep down, you know that the way that you're going about what you're doing, it just feels off. You're going through the motions, but what you're really doing is not aligned with your personality, with your beliefs, with your values, even with your mission. So although you're busy doing things, and in your mind, you're making progress, everything that your prospects get to experience is very surface level, is very shallow, very generic, and very flat. The very essence of the reason that someone would want to work with you is absolutely missing. So what happens is your copy and all of your marketing efforts will sound generic. And you and I both know that generic does not fly anymore. All right, so that's scenario number one. Scenario number two, there's a group of you whom you know what you're being told to do is just not in alignment with who you are. And so you're just uncomfortable, either consciously or subconsciously. So what happens? You drag your feet. It takes forever for you to take action. And as a result, there is no consistency in what you do. And in most cases, the words you might use are, I know I have to post on social media daily, but I just don't know what to post. I don't know what to write. I know I have to do XYZ, but it takes me forever to figure out how to do it or what to do. Again, it's not because you're procrastinating. It's not because you're super busy, or it's not because you're lazy or whatever self-talk that you might be having with yourself. It's because there is misalignment between who you are and the action you're being told to take. So I like to invite you to think about marketing another way, a more aligned way, an inside out way. Rather than searching outside of you to figure out the answers, I want you to go inwards so that you promote and market your expertise from a place of your deep knowing, from a place of your deep truth. When you do that, your ideal fit clients naturally gravitate towards you. You get out of the constant confusion, out of the constant chase and overwhelm, and you'll soon find yourself in a place where everything flows effortlessly. And guess what? The right fit clients start seeking you out, knocking on your door and asking you to help them with your solution. And the best part, it's not a trend that goes out of style. It's not something that you have to go learn. It's part of the very core of who you are, because you are marketing your truth. If you want to know how to apply these principles and go deeper in what I shared with you today, be sure to watch this video where I share 2 real-life examples that perfectly illustrates the power and effectiveness of staying true to your values and your beliefs, and the risk of not steering clear of generic marketing tactics, especially the ones that are misaligned with who you are. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and share it with anyone who might benefit from learning how to market their truth.